Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. BBC report. COVID, Biden orders intelligence report on virus origin. In a statement, Mr. Biden asked U.S. intelligence groups to redouble their efforts and report to him within 90 days. COVID-19 was first detected in the Chinese city of Wuhan in late 2019. More than 168 million cases have since been confirmed worldwide and at least 3.5 million deaths reported. Authorities linked early COVID cases to a seafood market in Wuhan, and scientists believe the virus first passed to humans from animals.
CNN report. Years before coming under fire over Holocaust comparisons, Marjorie Taylor Greene said a Democrat should be shamed for invoking Nazi history. Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, who is under fire for likening vaccine requirements to the treatment of Jews in Nazi Germany, once harshly condemned comparisons of migrant detention camps to the Holocaust as an embarrassment to our country that should be shamed by everyone. The comments, made in a since-deleted Facebook Live from summer 2019 that was saved by CNN's K-File, were in response to remarks made by Democratic Rep.
BBC report. Iran bans cryptocurrency mining for 4 months after blackouts. President Hassan Rouhani told a cabinet meeting the main cause of the blackouts was a drought that had affected hydroelectric power generation. But he said cryptocurrency mining, 85% of which is unlicensed, was draining more than 2 gigawatts from the grid each day. An estimated 4.5% of all Bitcoin mining takes place in Iran. Iran's banks were cut off from the global financial system and its oil exports plummeted, depriving it of a major source of hard currency and revenue, as a result of sanctions reinstated by the U.S. in 2018 when then-President Donald Trump abandoned a landmark nuclear deal.
Al Jazeera report. Qatar pledges $500 million for Gaza reconstruction. Qatar has pledged $500 million to reconstruction in the besieged Gaza Strip, the Gulf state's foreign minister announced, following a ceasefire that ended the worst fighting in years between Israel and Palestinian armed groups in the coastal territory. The state of Qatar announces $500 million in support for the reconstruction of Gaza, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said in a tweet on Wednesday.
Al Jazeera report. Exxon investor scores historic climate win with 2 board seats. A first-time activist investor with a tiny stake in Exxon Mobil Corp. scored a historic win in its proxy fight with the oil giant, signaling the growing importance of climate change to investors. Engine No. 1, the little-known firm that vaulted into the spotlight in December when it began pressing Exxon to come up with a better plan to fight global warming, won 2 seats on the company's board at Wednesday's annual shareholders meeting, according to a preliminary tally.
CNN report. Facebook and Instagram will now let all users hide likes on posts. Facebook and Instagram are giving all users the option to hide public likes on their posts, potentially upending a core dynamic of the social media platforms where like counts are seen as a sign of a person's influence. The social media giant has since 2019 been testing the ability for users to hide like counts, a feature synonymous with Facebook, as a way to make Facebook and Instagram less stressful to use.
Fox report. NYC hit-and-run suspect in killing of police officer laments. Why did my first accident have to be a cop? Before hit-and-run suspect Jessica Beauvais was ordered held without bail Tuesday, prosecutors told a judge that body camera footage revealed she swore at law enforcement taking her into custody a few blocks away from the fatal crash that killed NYPD Highway Patrol Officer Anastasios Zakos, lamenting as she was placed in the back of a patrol car. Why did my first accident have to be a cop? Zakos was killed on April 27 while directing traffic on the Long Island Expressway after an earlier accident.
Fox report. Ex-Johnson aide lambasts UK government over COVID failures. UK. Prime Minister Boris Johnson's former chief aide lashed out Wednesday at the government he once served, saying people died in horrific circumstances because of authorities' failed response to the coronavirus pandemic. In a ferocious attack on the competence and honesty of Johnson's administration, Dominic Cummings claimed the arrival of COVID-19 in early 2020 plunged the government into chaos.
Fox report. San Jose mass shooting. Who is Samuel Cassidy? A mass shooting at a Northern California rail yard Tuesday morning ended with 9 people dead, including the shooter, and multiple people injured, officials confirmed. Authorities identified the suspected shooter as Samuel Cassidy, 57, a Valley Transportation Authority employee who was declared dead after taking his own life. No motive is known for the shooting at this time. The VTA provides bus, light rail and other transit services throughout Santa Clara County, the largest in the Bay Area and home to Silicon Valley.
CNN report. Russia is the king of disinformation on Facebook, the company says. Russia and Iran are the top 2 sources of coordinated fake activity on Facebook, FB, according to a new report released by the company. Facebook's report, published Wednesday, shows how foreign and domestic covert influence operators have shifted their tactics and grown more sophisticated in response to efforts by social media companies to crack down on fake accounts and influence operations. Facebook has removed more than 150 networks of coordinated fake activity to date, the report said.
BBC report. Nigeria. More than 130 missing after boat sinks in Kebbi State. Most of the passengers were women and children traveling from Niger to Kebbi State in northwest Nigeria. Eyewitnesses say more than 160 people were on the vessel and just 22 have been rescued. Local authorities told the BBC that divers and emergency workers are trying to save others. However, it is unlikely that many survivors will be found. A rescue operation is underway but only 22 survivors and 1 dead body have been recovered, Abdullahi Buhari Wara, administrative head of Noski district, told the AFP news agency.
Deutsche Welle report. EU proposes stricter anti-disinformation code. The EU has announced plans to beef up its code of practice on online disinformation, with the aim of preventing digital ad companies earning profits from fake news. The new proposals from the European Commission, the EU's executive arm, come amid concerns about the role of social media and tech giants in the spread of false information online, particularly during the coronavirus pandemic. Disinformation cannot remain a source of revenue. We need to see stronger commitments by online platforms, the entire advertising ecosystem and networks of fact-checkers. Quote.
Deutsche Welle report. Coronavirus. Germany launches €2.5 billion fund to boost cultural sector. The German government on Wednesday unveiled a €2.5 billion, $3 billion fund to kickstart the country's pandemic-hit cultural sector. The fund will provide insurance in cases where a spike in coronavirus infections forces events to be cancelled or postponed. It will also supplement event ticket sales if audience numbers have to be capped to meet social distancing rules. Finance Minister Olaf Scholz told a press conference in Berlin that the fund's aim was to literally bring the diverse cultural landscape in Germany back to life.
CNN report. Google urged to abandon Saudi cloud project. Dozens of campaign groups are urging Google to abandon a cloud computing project in Saudi Arabia, saying the company is at risk of being complicit in future human rights violations. Google announced plans late last year to establish a cloud region in Saudi Arabia in partnership with Saudi Aramco. Google said that services offered as part of its agreement with the Mammoth State Oil Company would allow businesses in the region to confidently grow and scale their offerings.
Al Jazeera report. Another candidate assassinated in Mexico ahead of June 6 vote. A mayoral candidate has been killed in Mexico, bringing to 34 the total number of candidates murdered nationwide ahead of June 6 legislative elections that will fill thousands of local seats and nearly half of the country's governors. Alma Barragán was shot dead on Tuesday, local media reported, while campaigning for the mayorship of the city of Morelia in the violence-plagued state of Guanajuato in central Mexico.
Fox report. Pope kisses hand of Auschwitz survivor. Pope Francis kissed the tattoo of an Auschwitz survivor during a general audience on Wednesday. Lydia Maksymowicz, a Polish citizen who was deported to Auschwitz from her native Belarus by the age of 3, showed the Pope the number tattooed on her arm by the Nazis, and Francis leaned over and kissed it. Maksymowicz told Vatican News that she didn't exchange words with the Pope. "We understood each other with a glance," she said.
Deutsche Welle report. Switzerland backs away from economic treaty with EU. The Swiss government did not sign on to the long-stalled Swiss-EU institutional agreement, INSTA treaty with the European Union on Wednesday amid domestic opposition to a pact that would have simplified and strengthened ties with the country's largest trading partner. The government, also known as the Federal Council, said it concluded that there remain substantial differences between Switzerland and the EU on key aspects of the agreement. The conditions are thus not met for the signing of the agreement.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.